Aloha, gang. Welcome. It's Monday. I'm going to give the dogs their treats, so we are set with that. And yay. Got some actual ones with some more chewy type stuff, not rawhide, but kind of like rawhide. So hopefully that will keep those dogs very happy. I just realized I did not open up my good old what do you call it? The chat area. So let me open that up because StreamYard takes forever for me to get that open. Okay, now I can follow you guys quicker than StreamYard is going to give me updates. So everyone got through their weekend. I hope everyone had a good first day back to work if you work the normal Monday through Friday. And um this case we're going to talk about today, I actually, when I woke up this morning, there was another Amber Alert out. And I was initially going to talk about that because I know we had talked about Sebastian last week a little bit. Um, However, they found her. It was amazing news. Okay, they found her. It was great. I loved it. And then I started going back and looking at Sebastian, and a couple things have changed where law enforcement is moving in, they're kind of moving away from the search focus more into an investigative focus. And there were some interviews, family, as you know, here on YouTube, over on Duchess's channel was looking at, she was able to talk to them. And also on one of the local news channels they did. And what, I don't know about you guys, I'm going to say hi in just a couple seconds to everyone. What worries me in this case is I get so scared the further out we go. Okay, it's harder and harder, and it's more and more important to keep hope, guys. We got to keep hope. And it's so scary. And then I just happened to open up a Facebook page and came across the story of a 16-year-old teenager with autism who went missing back in 2019 and was found in 2022. Okay, years later, found in a different state. And there's a lot of stories like this. And that's when I realized, you know what? There's our hope. There's the hope. There's the reason for us to keep pushing and looking for him and getting the story out and letting everyone know that Sebastian is still out there. Even if we're backing off of the law enforcement, at some point, they do have to do that. They have to look on, okay, start looking on investigative side. They've got to start doing things a little differently. But that doesn't mean as a community, we stop looking. If anything, we pick up. And I'll tell you guys a little bit more about the story of the other 16-year-old who was found in 2019. Well, he disappeared 2019, was found 2022. Disappeared in California, was found in Utah. So just amazing. Just a reminder, Sebastian's out there. Okay, we just got to find him. We got to keep him in the forefront of all discussions. So let me say some real quick hey there, hi there's. Not sure if Chicken Lady's still awake or not, but she's trying to. And yeah, I get this too, when we get certain cases, there's just something about the person who went missing, whether it's a child, a teenager, or even a senior citizen. I have that at times, and it's like, oh gosh, so-and-so reminds me of so-and-so. It hits you. It really hits you at those times. And there's Miss in the Bushes. Yep, tap that thumbs up as Cassie taps my arm for more treats. Click and Go is here. Hey, 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 my dear. Thank you. What? You want more treats? I'm just getting this little like that all the time. So Sleuth Mama's in the house, and Princess Megan, love you, my dear. Hey, DIY Mama, how you doing? I was doing DIY stuff all weekend long. Anytime I got home, that's what I was doing, it felt like. And Miss Princess, La Princessa, in the bushes, I said, hi, Bubsy, how you doing, my dear? Grace, welcome, 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 welcome. And pull up a chair, have fun. Okay, actually pull up a chair, get ready to click share out, help us with getting these stories out, because gang, that's what we're all here to do. Okay, I'm in Hawaii. I can't go out and be part of a search most of the time, but we can do this. We can help share a picture, a poster. Music City Mom, hello, my dear. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, wow. It when I start seeing these cases of people who are found. Yes, she's noisy, and it's a great feeling. Chris, how you doing, Chris? Love you, my friend. Okay, I think that's, yep. He is out there, guys. He is truly out there. And these are the times, it's been a week now. Okay, he went missing on the 26th. Actually, we've got his picture right up in the corner, and I do have scrolling around on the bottom. If you happen to be, hey, Butterfly Kisses, how you doing, my dear? And if you happen to be in an area and you may see him, because one of the things I'm finding out, especially with the children with high functioning autism, they can walk quickly, far areas, things like that. I've seen multiple stories of children being found or teenagers being found in different states. And so it's really important for us to share this information out everywhere. And if you can't, okay, dial over to that number, you hit 911. Sleuth Mom, it's so sad seeing Tennessee switch from searching to and that's the thing, Sleuth Mom. That's why it started kind of, when I read that, it kind of made me feel kind of, I don't want to say destroyed, but it kind of really was that. And then I came across the story that I'm talking about that I mentioned a second. His name was Connor Jack Oswalt, and he went missing September 28th, 2019, when he was 16. And basically, the story in that case is that he, in the town of, where was it? Summit Park, Utah. Okay, up at a pretty high elevation, really cold. The locals started noticing this one homeless man in the area of their kind of like drugstore, I guess. And they started reporting to police because they were worried about him and the cold and all that. So police kept going to him, trying to get a name. They couldn't get a name or anything like that. Then one day they felt like something was there that they needed to know. One day they were talking to him and it was really cold, and they said, hey, why don't you come ahead, get into our squad car for a few minutes and warm up. They did that, and they were able to run his fingerprints. And because of some other things that happened in the meantime, they were able to track him down. And he was able to be found, and his family knew he was okay and all that. So hope is there. And police will keep looking. But we've got to, yeah, in both cases, we've seen where that, and we got to keep the word out there, though. So yeah, they are pretty fast, drawn to water, and there are some things, and we're going to go over part of that with this, because in cases of high functioning autism, you are drawn to water pretty routinely, pretty globally. However, one of the things with Sebastian, from what I've been hearing and listening to his parents talk, is he loves water. He's like a fish in water, as Chris, his stepdad, says, but he does not like dirty type stuff, bugs, things like that. So if he got into water, it would not be the lake or a river or something like that. Instead, it would be a swimming pool. And that gives me hope also, though. Knowing that, okay, yes, there's always outliers, but it is good news to hear that. Hey, here she goes. How you doing, my dear? And also, let me do this. I'm going to pull this up first, and then at some point, like I said, the local news did do a interview with mom and dad also. And like I said here, please go over to Duchess's channel and listen to what she did this morning also, because she was able to talk with his mom and his stepdad also, Chris. So anyhow, this is Sebastian. Okay, and you guys might remember last week Sleuth and I talked a little bit about Sebastian. He's 15 years old from Hendersonville, Tennessee. He has high functioning autism. And with that, that's what opens up a lot of things. And at one point here, actually, in a few seconds, we will talk about um, high functioning autism and stuff like that. And so we can talk about what kind of is the norm with high functioning, like some of you guys mentioned, the being drawn to water, things like this. But these are the cases where it's so important for us to really get to know the person who's missing. And one thing I can tell you is his mom and his dad right now, okay, thanks to his family, we really know who Sebastian is. We know what he likes, what he doesn't like, and stuff like that. And hey, Chris, I'll take a look at the video later. That way, if it's related to someone else, I could share it in something that's related to that person, and rather than confusing it with what's going on here. And all, but thank you, my dear. So we have the information here. We do have some pictures and all, and let me real quickly here. This is just to kind of give you guys a real quick, I really liked this when I saw this, giving us a good eye. So he is high functioning, that is good. He goes through moments of nonverbalness from what I'm understanding. And guys, a lot of what I'm getting is from watching, okay, and listening to his mom and dad and things like that. But it does sound like he does have times that he loves to talk and other times that he's more nonverbal. And of course, when you're dealing with strangers and things like that, that can also affect it. Now, most high functioning autism, these are just some of the symptoms, but one of the things with autism, like so many other things, dementia, whatever, is when you know one person with high functioning autism, you know one person with high functioning autism because everyone's different. Bubsy, Lulu has nonverbal autism and she's slow moving, but she doesn't want to be, if she doesn't want to be somewhere, she's like Houdini, she runs, yeah. And and his Chris, his stepdad, said it perfectly. Okay, if he wanted to go, sorry, my mind just went right out there. And okay, if he wants to go somewhere real quickly, he'd be able to go somewhere. Okay, he knows certain things he wants to go with. Other, he is not. Oh, that's what I wanted to get at. Medication. He is on medications, and this is the part that scares most people the most. I'm not sure what those meds are for. That's not our business to know. Okay. But that could be affecting his way of reacting to other people. It could be handling physical issues going on, his approach to other people, all sorts of different things that could be being affected by this. And also some of the things, you're just seeing some of it here. Okay, emotional sensitivity, fixation on particular subjects when they decide they really are focused on something, really focusing on it. Linguistic oddities, that social difficulty is something we're going to hear multiple times when we listen to mom and dad. He is very socially awkward. Okay, mentally, yes, his body is a 15-year-old, but mentally he's younger than that. And as such, he sees the world differently. He sees the world as someone he's younger than. And or he's older, they're younger than him. And other things, physical sensations. Many of you guys may know of people who are autistic having problems with certain feelings, certain clothes touching their body, okay, certain tactile sensations going on, having a routine. And that's what is rough right now because his routine has been totally messed with for the last week. And that confuses him even more. Other things develop, okay, repetitive habits, dislike of change. It's the same with dementia. You've got, okay, certain types of people, they love their routine. And when that gets messed up, it messes everything up and the whole thought process changes. Focus on, hey, Christola, no worries, my dear. And focus on himself. Okay, so it's kind of like, okay, if you think about when you were a child, Lulu hates change, Bubsy. Yep, see? When you were a child, I used to talk about when I was a kid, I used to think that I was the star of this movie and everything going on around me was a movie. And I was the only real one around. That's part of that age as we're younger. Well, someone with high functioning autism may be that way still because they're as they're getting older, they're still working on those types of goals that are for us. Now, the social difficulties we were mentioning there. His family mentions that he one of his biggest things he wanted every Christmas, every birthday, his biggest wish, his number one wish was to have friends. I want friends. He had friends at school. Okay, he has friends still waiting for him at school when he comes back. They're going to give him a big hug, okay, laugh, all that stuff. But he wanted more friends. Now, that could also become a huge danger, too, because when someone wants friends very, very badly, they can find themselves in dangerous situations. And right now that we're starting to move into more of the investigative level, because officially when he went missing, police were like, no, we think he wandered off. Okay, we'll find him. And it's only a matter of time and we'll find him. But the more time goes on, the more the chances that something else is going on or has developed. It may have started off as one thing, but again, maybe he started off by walking off and, okay, going on a little adventure and all, and then he met the wrong person or something like that. And that's why it's important for the police to switch into the investigative mode, okay, and focus a little bit more on that than being boots on the ground searching. It's more like trying to get clues as to what's going on, because what if something like that has happened? So, just to give you guys a little of that initial breakdown. Now, we're going to go real quickly before we do watch that video I was talking about and want to give you some of the breakdown of what happened leading to his disappearance. And so he his stepdad, okay, first of all, we've got mom, dad, and stepdad. Okay, Chris is stepdad. Chris was just like dad though at the same time. So that's why I hate using that word a lot of times. So Chris. One of the things I'm definitely getting from this was a trio of parents that are there completely 150% for the children. Okay, sometimes when divorces happen and things like that, it can get the animosity can be pretty bad. I see it, at least from what we're being led to see, they really worked with each other. They talked about, okay, what do we need to do? How do we agree on raising children, rules, things like that. They would talk all the time. Okay. So Chris, okay, his stepfather was out of town for work when this started happening. Okay, again, the 26th is when he went missing. The 25th, the night before, Sunday, around 9 p.m., Sebastian went to bed. Okay, mom was still up, sitting on the couch. About 45-ish minutes later, she and Chris got on the phone. And they were on the phone for quite a while, quite a long time. They probably didn't get off the phone from each other till nearly midnight. Mom was starting to get a little tired and all. And, I'm sure you guys have had the same thing happen. I've had it happen many times. I'm talking on the phone and I kind of start falling asleep with that person on the line. And it's like, okay, girl, time to go to bed, hit bed. That's what happened that night. So about midnight, she went to bed. At that time, everything seemed okay in the house. Okay. She went to sleep 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Everything felt okay, but she woke up at 6, went to go look for her son and get him ready for school, Monday morning, back to school, all that, and he was not there. Those of you, Bubsy, I'm sure you could tell me this right now. If you went and noticed your child wasn't in bed, you're going to notice it pretty quickly, right? Especially when you are, okay, you're kind of having to hold their hand a little bit more through the getting ready process in the morning. And that's what happened with her. She's all of a sudden, oh my God, he's not here. Ran around the house, yelled his name a couple times and all. Yep, exactly. Bubsy is like, yep, 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 yep. And that's how, within minutes, she knew. She knew something was wrong. So she looked and she quickly called her husband, Chris, to say, I can't find him. I don't know where he is. I can't find him. He's like, okay, hang up. I'm calling the police. So he called the police right away. Um, and within 10 minutes, according to Chris, sheriff had been dispatched to the house. Now, as for things, what happened? Okay, what did he leave with? What did he not leave with? He did not have his phone with him. However, in listening to answers, that was not really abnormal. I know that was one of some of the times we question, well, oh, wait, it's a teenager. Wouldn't they have their phones? Well, he really didn't. This is not a family that lived off of social media. Okay. In fact, as you're going to hear further and further, they stayed away from, I mean, the kids had, okay, Sebastian was not allowed on social media. There was no social media presence. Now, I know many of us feel kids can be sneaky, and you know what? They could be. I suspect if he was sneaky, the police will find that out. Okay. Uh, Parents say there's no way. And parents usually know. Bubsy, did he have a communication device like an he had a switch. He had a phone, number one, and then he had a switch that he would play Minecraft on. Now, Minecraft does and Switch does have the ability to communicate, but it seems like Chris really understood how to set up parental, okay, restrictions on devices. It's something, in fact, Amy and I have been talking about lately, is how to ensure or try to do every, you can never 100% make it safe because kids figure things out. But if a child figures it out, the police are going to figure that one out. Okay, they're going to be able to go into the devices and figure it out. And he did not take that. Okay, his mom said we would have to actually remind him all the time to take his phone. So him not taking his phone was not a biggie. It's not like, oh, he left the phone at home because he didn't want anyone to know where he was going. Um, there does look to be a flashlight missing out of the household, which would make sense if he disappeared sometime between midnight and 6. It was dark. So that does make sense. Um, I did hear one thing that I would like to get a little clarification on. But all his shoes were still at home. So I don't know if maybe he had one pair of shoes that he had with him, but just didn't take other stuff. Um, and that sleuth, there's an answer to that. And I don't know if anyone knows the answer to that right now. Why did he leave? If he's not talking to anyone on the phone, if he doesn't like going out into dirty places and stuff like that, going out at night is scary for most kids. Now, I don't know how Sebastian was, but we talk about that quite often. Most kids are scared of going out in the dark. And especially I would think if you're scared, if you don't like dirt and junk like that, kind of, so why? And there's an answer to that. But right now I think he's the only one who has that. That's a very fair point. Maybe there was some sensory irritation. He would decide go outside to cool off from it. Could be anything. And that's where the police are looking. That's what their focus has been the first week. Why did he leave? Where could he have gone? Now, as for the areas here, okay, this is the street, okay, that they are on. Okay, we don't know the specifics, but it gives you an idea of what is around. You've got the high school over here, the middle school over there. Okay, this is the Stafford Court area. So Really nice area, definitely some swimming pools, but all those have been looked at and all that. They are asking people though, guys, really need to keep going back. Just because you've looked in your shed once doesn't mean he's not there. He may not have been there at that time, but a day later he may be. So going back is important. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's why I'd like the shoe bit has me, and I'm not sure if I've misunderstood that comment either. Because yeah, going out, I hated that as a child. I could not walk on grass barefoot whatsoever. Okay, it was too much for me. And also, and I'm not autistic, and it was still too much for me. So FYI, TikTok cannot be monitored by police. And that is an issue. Okay, the actual what's being done there, and because they're okay, it's another country, it's a little harder to get things released and stuff like that. They do feel very strongly though that he is not getting onto any sort of device and talking with people. If he did, it'd make this a lot more easier to understand what happened, to be honest. A lot easier to understand. So this gives you an idea of the area. Okay, definitely once you get down here, you've got a lot of wooded area out this way, more wooded area over this. So you definitely have a lot. Okay, this is a large open area for sure. And but they're looking into all that, trying to figure out where could he have gone from there. And like I said, with 1 week, things change. It literally could be where, okay, he left the house to just leave the house. And then someone approached him who acted like a friend. And as someone who wanted a friend so bad, he may have opened and trusted it. So a lot of different possibilities out there. And that's why part of me is happy that the police are looking at things on that level. But I don't want the search to be hindered by that, because right now that search is what's going to find him. And also, hopefully, I know the locals have come in full force. People, I mean, everyone in the neighborhood is going through their ring footage and wise cam footage and all that. People are out searching. People are trying to do all these things. Locals have actually put together actual reward monies and stuff like that. So we're really hoping, at least I am, that the search pops up so that as the police pull back to do their investigation side more, others step forward. And that's why it's important for us to share this more, because that's the only way the search is going to continue, is if people like you and me start seeing this and being like, oh boy, okay, we need to take a look at this and take care of this. So anyhow, let me get rid of this, and I'm going to hope my computer does not play games with me, because I just lost a tab. And but what I'm going to do right now is pull up the interview I came across this morning. Let me see here. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So I may have to, actually, it looks like everything's going weird on my computer right now. I might have to reboot that, not reboot, but bring up that screen again if this does not play. But this is actually over on WSMV4, which has been doing a really good job letting us know what has been going on. They were able to sit down with mom and Chris, stepdad, and talk with them, learn a little bit more about who he is, okay, and what may have happened on that day. So let's see if it plays. If not, I'll just refresh.
Is there anything that happened that day that you think back and that there might have been a reason
Sorry,
he was
no
possibly
subtitles.
upset, or being outside that could have enticed him to go outside? Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving. make more sense if we'd been fighting.
Or he'd been in trouble, but he hadn't been in trouble.
Yeah, Cristola, my heart goes out to her right now. I mean, this is not something any parent should have to go through. And guys, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of people out there who are trying to point fingers here. You know, this happens every single time. Okay, our focus is this little boy. Our focus is a 15-year-old who has been gone for 1 week. Okay, our focus is figuring out where he might be. Let the police do the rest of the stuff. That's their job, not ours. We need to remember we're here. And right now, my heart goes out to his mom and his dad and his stepdad. Okay, because it's hard enough knowing that your child is out there alone. But I think when you've got a special needs, okay, child, it's even more so because you know they depend on you more. Yeah, Cristola, exactly. Okay, there's no way you would even be able to sit still. The energy, okay, you just want to be out there. You want to be doing something, but what do you do? What can you do? And that's where a lot of it comes down to. People start seeing this or seeing that, or they hear this or they hear that. And what's so funny, like on YouTube, you hear this little bit here, and then it gets blown into this when the truth is only this. But everyone's gone. We know how it goes. And also, okay, back to this.
So, I mean, uh, the $1 million question, why did he go? And the other $1 million question is how.
What about social media? Was there anything that, you know, anyone he could have contacted? I understand he was somewhat of a gamer, or what was he? There was a video game he loved, right?
Minecraft. He
yeah.
loves Minecraft. The game that he has is not online. He has the Switch.
We don't, because of how social media can be, he doesn't have accessibility to communicate with folks
On the internet.
on internet. I mean, we have a firm belief that we just don't feel that right now he's capable of having that kind of responsibility. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, his phone is locked down, his computers, his game. He doesn't have a gamer tag. He doesn't have online capabilities with games. I mean,
We've combed every electronic.
I mean, we've cooperated with all the authorities as far as anything they've asked us to provide, we've provided, and still just don't have any answers.
Did he have any friends that could have possibly contacted him in some way on his phone?
All his friends at school have been questioned to my knowledge, and none of them knew anything.
So this big question mark. He's vanished.
Yes, ma'am.
And no one can figure out where or why. All right, so let's talk too about the relationship involved, because the biological father is very much involved in Sebastian's life as well,
Yes, ma'am, very much.
right? And how would you describe that relationship, the two of them and the four of you?
It's relatively good. I mean, we talk regularly. He talks to his son on a regular basis, sees him on a regular basis. He's involved in school and therapy, and I mean, he didn't have any extracurricular activities, but I can tell you now, if he did, his dad would be in the front row.
That was one thing I'm noticing also is when I talk about how, by the way, I'm double checking online for that one person real quickly. But one of the things I'm recognizing is that not only did the three of them talk with each other about raising Sebastian, but Sebastian would spend every other weekend going over to his dad's house. Okay, if he wanted to, all he would do is just ask if they were involved in any activities or things like that. So that kind of pulls back any thought that, okay, wait, could someone have, could that be involved or anything like that? Because it really looked like a very close, tight relationship.
in two different households, and the communication between the three of us is great. I mean, yes, we're just like every parent. We all have our disagreements, but in the end, we come together as a team and we work and we come up with solutions that as we best see fit. I mean, I'm almost in contact with him almost daily.
Let's talk about Sebastian. Tell me about Sebastian. How would you describe him?
Sweet, stubborn. He loves to help. He loves running, and he loves to play his games and his fidgets and Uno. Lord, that's one of his favorite games right now. Favorite color is green.
Does he love music?
Oh, God,
Oh.
he loves music.
An eclectic taste.
I
An
mean,
eclectic. I mean, from as everybody knows, Eye of the Tiger to Eddie Vedder.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we got Pearl Jam on one hand, we've got Survivor on the
Which, by the way, they actually would use things like Eye of the Tiger and all as a way to approach him over the last week. They try to have certain types of music playing and things like that to help calm him down. The thought being, if he heard Eye of the Tiger playing or one of his favorite songs, he would not be as worried, scared, or nervous as people may approach him.
other over here. We've got Taylor Swift and
he's got a big crush on her.
Wow.
I mean, country, rock.
no hip hop.
Classic.
We don't allow the hip hop.
Well, he doesn't really
Well, I
get
say
into it
rap and
anyways.
things.
You mentioned he loved running. So did he love the outdoors at all? I mean, would something outside that was somewhat outdoorsy be enticing to
So-
him or pull him outdoors?
He loves, like, when we were in California and the school had this lap thing to gain money. It was a fundraiser. And every year he was, I did this many laps. I did this many laps. I mean, I've got T-shirts where they would
So
write on his
definitely
back
likes
every
the
time the kids went
exercise
around. They'd
side.
mark a mark on the back, and they'd keep running. And he just had marks all the way across his back. He likes playground.
I don't know. I'd have to go check. I'll try to research that right now, whether the 26th was a full moon. That's a good point. Was it a full moon or a new moon? Would make the difference on how light it was outside, what the weather was, things like that. Definitely good point there.
Grounds. He hates
yeah.
being dirty. He
Hates
don't like
being
being dirty.
Yeah, he's not your tomboy style child where he goes outside and plays in the mud.
He loves animals, but he's terrified of bugs.
Oh yeah.
See, and that's the other reason why there's concerns I have with nighttime. By the way, the moon on February 26th was a waning gibbous with illumination of 96.72%. So not sure if that helps anyone. And it definitely wasn't full moon, but that gives you that. But definitely something to think of. It worked. We're in. Click and Go is in. Yay. And so we're good with that. But to answer your question, I did just check Click and Go. And it is saying it was a waning gibbous. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm trying to remember exactly how much. Okay, it's close to full. So it's like 97% full. So pretty okay. So that could cause, yeah, like you're saying, wakefulness in some people. Interesting. Good thought.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
even a fly, and he's like, oh!
Like me.
Let's talk too, because he's highly functioning. I know you all have described him as having a form of autism,
He does.
but
You know, Bubsy, I know you're not judging or anything. I think part also is recognizing we're a week into this. And as time goes on, you start realizing, first of all, everyone responds differently. Okay, like you know. But at a week, you're realizing it's up to you to speak up. No one else is going to speak up. They also were preparing for this interview. This was not something that just kind of popped up out of nowhere where they couldn't mentally prepare for it or something like that. So I could see, I don't know if anyone, okay, some people may, for example, take something to help calm them down. You definitely can tell she's, yeah, mom is rocking. She's got so much nervous energy in her right now that that's how she's self-soothing right now for everything. So hate my voice. I hate my voice, girl. Oh my God, you guys throw me for a loop sometimes. And I know you're not judging her, though. I know you're not judging her. It's okay. We're all, yeah, and she could be. She could be. She's holding herself together, and you can hear differences depending on where they are at the time, how pulled together a person is at that moment. But I think the week also makes a huge difference in coming to terms with this is happening. This is happening, and I have to speak up because if I don't, no one will.
Describe that to our viewers too, as far as his way of thinking of things and maybe how determined he was about certain things or his mindset.
He's got a stubborn mindset. If he believes it's this,
He gets on a one-man track and he is just on it, and he is all about it.
but I mean, he's very smart.
He's
I mean,
smart.
he can play chess. He can beat adults in chess.
Wow.
So he's
Okay.
That's
He
amazing.
loves playing games.
What about navigation? Like, did he have a sense of direction? Do you think he could have possibly even hitched a ride or gotten a ride on a bus or some sort of transportation?
that is a speculation that we don't have an answer for. Just
I mean-
directionally, he knows he could guide you from our house to his dad's house.
Yeah.
He could get from like this house. I think he can make it up to Culver's ice cream.
He can go to Culver's.
Oh, the boy loves
He
them
knows
all.
where Culver's is because
He loves the areas he wants to go to and he's used to, he can make it to. And that's good. If he gets into those areas, he'll know how to get back. But if he walked his way off of the beaten path, that is when issues pop up. By the way, I wish we had a Culver's out here in Hawaii. I've had them on the mainland before, and oh my gosh, they're amazing. Those of you who have Culver's around, oh, I'm jealous. So, Bubsy is saying she went missing in the city for half an hour and she was found on the train to come home. Wow. And so, by the way, hello, Cooter. And also, and
Culver's has malt.
Uh-huh.
He loves malt, extra malt. Every time, extra malt.
Now, how far away does his dad live?
Clarksville. His dad lives up by Clarksville.
So he could guide someone all the way to Clarksville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a pretty keen sense of direction, at least with certain things.
Familiar routes.
Yes.
Familiar routes.
yeah.
Familiar
I mean,
routes.
if I took him another route going
He
this way,
takes
he would
it-
not know it.
He goes up there so often that he knows how to get to his daddy's. We know that.
His dad works with him as far as, well, we're going this way, we're going that way, and keeps the same thing, and it works out.
Routine. Going back to the whole idea
Let's
of
talk to you,
routine.
because earlier, Chris, you and I were talking, and you were saying that there are a lot of people who are harassing both of you.
Okay, I'm going to stop it before we go into this section right here. We're actually already on the third of 4 parts of this. And guys, this is where I'm going to say straight up, guys, this is about a little boy. It's not about his 2 parents, 3 parents, whatever. Okay, like anyone in the world, okay, we all have things. If anyone's ever been part of a divorce, you could run into issues with, okay, issues connected to that, all these other things. And too many times we are looking for a solution and we start just trying to point fingers in certain directions and we forget this isn't about the adults. Okay, the moment we're focused on the adults, we're forgetting about the kid. Okay, Sebastian needs to be brought home. And it doesn't matter all the rest of this. So we're going to hear this because it's important for people to know what is being said out there. But people need to realize, you know what? This is not about, we don't always have to turn everything into a big excuse me, but a big conspiracy or something like that. Let the police do their work. Let the police investigate. I can tell you right now, the police have said they do not think, oopsie, sorry, pup. The police do not think any of the parents are involved in this. That should be enough for us to say, okay, if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. Hey, Iris, love you, my dear. So, yeah, and that's it. It's so hard because, yes, there's part of us who does this, but until something's proven, we need to be careful. I'll go back over and over and over to what happened in Australia when how many of us pointed fingers at a mom and dad who were sleeping in a tent with their daughter. And all of us were like, oh, there's no way, there's no way. And yeah, there was a way. And so I know it's natural for some people, but we've got to also be fair too. So, yep, Crystal, exactly.
What of any of that do you want to address? What do you want to say to any of these people?
Just that you don't know. And I don't wish you to ever know.
I would say it like this: everybody has an opinion, you know, and it's perfectly okay to have that opinion. But you're not in this situation. You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different, wide open view, and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts. If they have questions, all they have to do is ask.
And I pray genuinely that no one ever goes through this.
Just be kind to people. I mean, it's real
Do,
simple.
Bubsy. Love you, girl.
There are some people who have been talking, because I know this is part of the harassment. Is there anything you want to address about this child custody situation with the previous?
So I have a current case that is ongoing in another state. We've requested that case to be sealed because there are some individuals who have taken upon themselves to put stuff out there that they don't quite know, which all they have to do is ask, I'll tell you. But because of that, you know, it has nothing to do with our son. It has nothing to do with the situation. You know, I just, people would respect that and then keep an open mind. It's totally different.
If Sebastian was able to watch this, and maybe he's watching this as it airs, and if he is, what do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you?
Makes my heart listen to.
That we love you so much and we want you to come home and you're not in trouble.
I guarantee you he is loved. And trust me, the open arms are waiting for him to come home. From every parent to every family members to probably everyone in the community. But there's no malice, so we just want our boy home. Badly. But
That mama's heart, I know it's daddy's too, but I feel like there's always that extra special bond. Can you walk us through what you're thinking right now?
This, guys, is just, and yeah, Crystal, it is. She's got every single, she's trying to hold it together because she knows if my thought would be, if I can just make it through this, if I can, I'm speaking up for my little boy. I'm trying to be his voice because someone needs to be his voice right now because he doesn't have a voice right now. Okay, if I can just speak, I can hold it together for just a couple more minutes. And any of you who are, I'm not a mom and I can feel it. Okay, I mean, yeah, it does. I mean, she's trying to hold it together for him. Okay, her love for him.
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
let's talk about the community, because I want you all to know, even my church body, I mean, we're all praying for his safe return quickly. What do you all want to say to the community?
Thank you.
With everything from the bottom of our hearts. I would not have imagined how far this has gotten, but there's no way to repay the gratitude, the love that we've felt from the community, the prayers. But thank you.
But
from the
don't
bottom of our
stop
hearts.
looking.
Yeah, please.
Don't stop looking.
My son is somewhere.
This ain't no-
And again, the reason why we keep doing these things is like the story I told you at the beginning of this live. Okay, an autistic 16-year-old who disappeared was found 2 years later in Utah. Okay, hope is there. Hope is always there. And just because we're moving more into an investigative state does not mean hope is gone. It just means now it's more important than ever for community to step in and help keep the search alive.
go until he's home.
So we have, let's mention, let's get on the search itself, because we know thousands of miles have basically been traced and retraced. We've got hundreds, we've got volunteers, we've got law enforcement from within the state, from without, outside of the state. I mean, do you feel like they're doing as much as they can? I mean, you all have been right there in the front seat, seeing everything that's underway.
As far as I know, they're doing everything. Anything and everything has been an option. They have brought in assets and resources from various counties, potentially other states. I mean, I don't know how much more they could do, but we're grateful for everything they have done.
I can't remember if they go through this here, and I'm also trying to stop it so we can discuss a little bit in between each part here. They have been. They've been out there looking in all the areas. They've been bringing in as many different things, from dogs to drones to going and scuba diving to find things, make sure there's nothing under the water, all that. They have contacted the FBI. I think it's the Behavioral Analysis Unit. FBI has not come down, from my understanding, but they are involved in communication and via phone calls and discussion to try to get better ideas, because this is basically where we are right now. A little different than, say, Madeline was. They kind of knew where everything was going, and it was more about focusing in a different direction. Here, it's like, okay, this is a child who most likely did wander away. Now, the question is, did they continue wandering away and something happened? Okay, or are they still on their own wandering away? And that's where understanding behavior and things like that is so, so important. PJ, thank you for renewing, my dear. Love you, love you, love you. Cassie, you want to say hi, PJ? You're going to growl at me because you're a little hi, PJ. He's like, I want my treat. Love you, PJ. Thank you so much, my dear, for renewing. I got to get some new stuff out there for members. You guys, let me know what you guys want as members, because I need to do something special for you guys. Big time. Big time. That's how your husband would be, in front of people strong, but behind. Yes, that's how my dad was, actually. My dad in front of people strong and all that, but behind, not even around us kids, but around my mom, he would show his real stuff. So thank you so much, man. And there's Cooter, 7 months. Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe it's been 7 months. By the way, you know what, guys? Because I know I'm going to forget about this. Let's do this. Is it here where I can do this or not? There's the question of the day. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try something real quickly. Actually, let's see. Will they let me? I do. Okay, guys, real quickly, I'm going to give away 5 free memberships to those of you. PJ, I'm sorry. I should have done this before you went and did that. Sorry, I didn't even think about it until you just did that. Bad local, bad local, bad local. And let's see if we got some people in here right now. Let's give away 5 of them. I don't even know if I have enough people in chat right now, but we will see what happens. Here we go. Make sure you've accepted the ability and gift 5 now. Who's going to get it? Who gets it? Actually, we got almost all of you guys are the right color to begin with. And also, it may not have too many, so we will find out what happens. Actually, I think almost everyone is a member actually here. So we will find out if anyone gives any. Actually, we may not because I think everyone is a member right now. So that's good. I like that. There you go. LFT got one. Mark, Sharon, woohoo! Life of Mary. Oh, I like that name. Life of Mary podcast and Give Up. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, that took a little longer. I was starting to be like, oh shoot, what just happened? So, and I was like, oh, I hope I didn't just give away 5 and not have enough people in the chat. And hey, welcome to the group, guys. I need to get some special stuff for those of you who are in our Ohana. So anyhow, let's go back to this. And we will do 5 more a little later this month. I don't know when, but sometime in the next couple weeks, I will get some more out. So let's go back to this. We got about 4 minutes left of this interview.
They're amazing, but they still haven't brought my baby back.
They will.
Well,
They will.
and that's the support right there. That's the support of 2, okay, a couple. Okay, ooh, in the bushes, 9 months, party on. Yep, we party, girl. So, but yeah, no, that's the support because they're asking, what did they do? How have the police done and all that? And it's like, they've done amazing. But in the back of her mind, all she could think of, they haven't brought my baby back. And he supports her and saying they will. We just got to remember that hope. Okay, anyone who ever knows someone who's like that, go back, especially in these autism cases. There are so many cases where someone is found weeks, months, years even later, but they're found and they're okay. Find Sebastian. Bingo. Love you, Sleuth Mom, my dear. And yep, find Sebastian. And what I love is it's showing all this in green, which is his favorite color.
So it's basically, it's one day at a time, getting through this and bringing him
it's not even one day at a time when these things happen. Okay, sometimes one day at a time is too hard. You got to go an hour at a time or even 5 minutes at a time. You go at the speed that you know you can go and hold on to the hope for that amount of time, whether it is a day at a time or an hour or 5 minutes. That's what you do. Exactly, Darlene. I pray they find him. We just keep sharing it and welcome, my dear. Welcome.
What is the reaction to the fact that somehow his image, he hasn't been captured on any video anywhere?
I know that it was very dark that night. I mean, it gets dark around here at night in general, but so far we haven't found him on any camera footage to prove where he's at or where he's gone. I know that they're looking, and I went asking everybody and anybody that has cameras, trail cams, stores.
It's kind of scary. Rapper, I know I just saw you there. We don't know. He could have walked away, just walking away. This is a little kiddo who just wants to have friends. Did he run into someone? That's why the investigation is important right now. It's so important.
To check, even from before he went missing, just to see if there's anything at all.
Hey, Lioness.
I understand there was a request for video, any sort of footage of Sebastian from earlier in the day on Sunday before he disappeared?
That I don't believe we can comment on right now. That is not something that I believe we're privy to at this point with law enforcement. That is something I would definitely direct back to them.
That's something that is being a lot of questioning coming. Why are they asking for footage, if anyone has footage from earlier on Sunday when he didn't go missing till midnight that night? And there could be anything. Was someone walking behind him? Was someone else in the area that they need? There could be a lot of different reasons for that. Police are holding on to that tightly. That is their thing. They'll share with us if they feel they need to share with us. But I do know a lot of people are wondering about that answer. It does, Darlene, it makes me cry. I mean, I literally have to hold my breath every now and then because it's rough to watch someone hurting like this. And all you want is for them not to hurt.
But I mean, there's all kinds of requests out there. There's thousands of hours of video that they are combing, and we're just hoping they'll find something.
And I know this is so sensitive. What do you say to people who inevitably end up pointing their finger back at you? We were talking earlier, and I mean, are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that Mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided.
Good question.
So cooperation is there. I mean,
What do you want to say to our viewers? Anybody who's watching, we've got a lot of folks in this community and in other counties just throughout the state as well. What do you want to say to them?
Help spread the word and keep searching, and thank you. And just, if you think you see him, call him in.
thank all the viewers, everybody that's helped
Remember the
from
phone
across the
number
board.
at
I
the
mean,
bottom.
everybody has been tremendous.
Call his name.
Yeah.
He'll answer, and if he doesn't answer, he'll look, even if he's not being verbal at the moment, because he can talk, but sometimes he don't talk.
And that gets to the question that was asked earlier. Oh, by the way, I did just check. Hendersonville, according as of 2020, had 61,753 people in it. Or I think it was Click and Go was asking that. So almost 62,000. I don't know if it's gone up or down. But that answers the question, okay, about earlier was asked, is he verbal or nonverbal? And he is verbal. It's just not always. Sometimes he may not feel like talking. Sometimes he may not feel comfortable talking. So that's why it's important to look at other ways of trying to get his attention. And much like someone with dementia, for example, you might not, oh, you looked up and you got Crystal, if that could be. I just looked Hendersonville, Tennessee is what I did, but I wasn't going deeper. So there might be more updates that I don't. But in those cases, if you're worried about someone, if you say their name and you recognize they're not going to come near you, or you're worried they're going to bolt or something, the greatest thing you can do is pull out your phone, dial 911, and then just follow from a distance. Okay, I know police and all that, they're looking at music and stuff like that. So that's also possibilities. But it's just something to keep in the back of your mind if you're in the area looking for him.
Call his name. Tell him to stay put.
And he could be on the move, so keep checking your properties.
Yes. The search is never over until he comes home. That is for
He's
sure.
so smart.
But thank you for everything that everybody has done, has volunteered, the continuous efforts. I mean, it's, like I said, I've never seen something to this magnitude before.
Our community is amazing.
Community
We're all
is
praying,
on up.
hoping, and searching for Sebastian's safe return for that day. Thank you both for
Thank you.
talking with me.
So, like I said, that came out this morning. They did, and if anyone is interested in more, because it's to some degree the same information, but there's additional information. Always worth listening to it to see if there's more information for getting the word out and stuff like that. And just helping with algorithms alone. Going over to Duchess because she was able to talk to mom and dad, stepdad this morning. And guys, we know algorithm is what gets the face out there. We need to get his face out there. If the police are now pulling back the ground search and focusing more on the investigation, and yes, for the first time, they are mentioning possibilities, according to where was it? News Channel 5 in Nashville. They're saying that they have spoken with people who are saying they are now considering the potential of foul play. Was there any foul play? Now, foul play doesn't necessarily mean, I'm going to say this right now, gang. It does not mean, oh, mom, dad. No. Foul play literally could be this kiddo went walking and some a-hole, talked him into being friends, and the a-hole did not have the greatest idea on them. There could be many things. It could also be no foul play. Maybe he's still out there walking. Remembering that story, I'm going to pull up the story now that we've kind of discussed that. I wanted to show you before we left. This is the 16-year-old who was found. 3 years after he disappeared. Sleuth, thank you for sharing the link. Sorry. I was looking at the word views and I was like, clicks, Sleuth, I can't think. But yeah, no, thank you for that. So everyone can go straight there and keep an eye and listen to it, help share, help get the word out about him. Sebastian is out there. That there's no question about. He is out there. And but this is Connor Jack. Connor Jack Oswald went missing in 2019, like I said. He was 16. Back in 2022 in April, they found him sleeping outside of a gas station. People in the neighborhood were like, wait, there's this homeless man who's been hanging out here. We're worried about him because it's really cold. Can police, we think you need to know about this guy. And over time, they were able to track him down. I mean, they were finally able to sit down with him. He always said no, like they said here. No, I don't need shelter. No, I don't know. I'm not giving my name or anything, which knowing he's autistic makes complete sense also. But all of a sudden, one day, they got him into their vehicle. They scanned his fingerprint. There happened to be an arrest warrant in Nevada when it looks like there was an assault on a police officer. There was some issues with name spellings, but guess what? They found him. They were able to reunite him with the family, all that. 2022. This was almost 2 years ago. So, guys, Sebastian is still out there. And we've got to just keep sharing, keep it going. Go to Duchess, watch hers. Put a comment there, leave a comment under it. That way more and more people will see this and they'll realize that he's there. Because if you look at this case, California to Utah, how many other cases? I heard of another case, where just within a couple, like a week or something, they crossed the state line. Once you reach a certain age, it's a little easier to walk without people taking a second look. If you're wearing a jacket, if you get your hands on a jacket or something like that, you don't necessarily look 15 years old anymore. And people don't give you that second look. So there's hope. And I'm hoping if there's anything, people who are talking to his parents, let them know that hope is there. Because you got to hold on to hope. You have to hold on to hope. And we need to get the word out. So let me pull this back up so that we remember who we're talking about. So we have Sebastian here. I've had the phone number going at the bottom here from the beginning. In fact, it might be a different phone number. It's a different phone number than the poster that I've got here. But yeah, it's the California case that made me, because this morning, like I said, there was another Amber Alert case, and she was found. The girl, okay, was found. She was supposed to meet her parents at the bus stop, and she wasn't there. And I was so happy she'd been found. And but then I started looking around, what else is out there? And I saw the update on Sebastian, and then I came across that one article, and it gives you hope so quickly. So thank you guys, for all of you guys who've been with us today. Thank you all so much. We will be this Wednesday over here, I think. And who knows what we'll be talking about that day. God only knows at this point. So this Friday, I need to check Goodbye in the Bushes. Take care, my dear. I gotta check. We have Honolulu Festival this weekend, and I am working it, so I may not be here on Friday. I need to check, but I'll let y'all know for sure. And if I can, I'll try to come live a different day. Cassie, you want to say goodbye to everyone instead of just be a grumpy grump? She's jealous of her brother on the ground. She's sitting here. "Arr, arr, arr, arr." Yeah, he's hilarious. So yeah, love you guys all tons and tons. Help us get his story out. Help us get his case out. Okay, it'd be amazing if no matter where I go on the internet, we see pictures of Sebastian. Oh, there goes Cassie. And I'll love y'all all, and I'll see ya later. Bye bye.